You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Welcome back, Skyrim Addict podcast. I think 162. We're gonna do the. What are we doing? Oh, we're doing the quest for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th and 6th episodes of the Hearthfire Roundtable, where we'll be going for the Heljarkin home, which is for the Pale home, which is Heljarkin Hall. So I got Ray with me.
Good afternoon.
And Victor.
Hello, hello.
And Colin.
Good evening, guys.
And I believe Juan will be popping in at some point as my monitor, as my monitor goes black and I think everything crashes. And so we're just gonna sort through the quests for the final home we got to do. Bad news from Kenneth. His character crashed.
Yeah, that really stinks. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's and we've been going since January, so that does stink. Building that long.
Well, I had hoped I could help him out with that, but I don't think. I think he's sort of given up on it. I don't know if he's deleted it or not, but who knows? It sounded a little weird.
Yeah, sometimes if it goes down, it goes down.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But really, anybody could jump in at any point. You could just jump in and do these quests and build this house. You really don't need to have done everything along the way.
Yeah, I was thinking of actually restarting a character just to do this section with my little switch now, and instead, leaving Hannes for other things.
Like you said, if you're going to hop in with your new Switch, play on the Switch or whatever, anybody can hop in. We're really only building the house and doing some quests, involved with it, and other ones that are kind of unaffiliated in the general area, anyway. Yeah,
I was thinking of adding Heljarkin Farm to the build I've been using. So I have to decide whether I want to do that or not, because that's a great mod and it's a lot of fun to play with. So I might branch the playthrough in Mod Organizer and add that just for this section. We'll see.
And I'm going to use my Data Artifact Hunter.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
and I'm not going to use Heljarkin Farm because that's the only thing I've ever built there. So I want to actually see what the basic house situation is there. So
I think it was Kenneth's issue maybe with the Winstead Mine mod that conflicted somehow, or
I wonder.
I don't remember if you had that loaded or not. That's usually pretty stable. Both those mods are the same author and they seem really stable.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with Winstead myself.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I might.
I think I had an issue with Heljarkin Farm. I built all the stuff, killed the stuff there, then went out and hunted, found all the stuff, built the main building, then went inside and it instantly crashed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just like the second you walk through the door, reloaded, went through again, instant crash to desktop. No, can't be fucked, so I just went back to an old save and then never built it.
Yeah, that kind of thing is usually there's something else is conflicting in the same. Some other mod is kind of the same area or something like that.
And I wasn't that interested in that particular mod because it still didn't have anything to do with the house. And I think this was on a different playthrough anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. It really you're right. It doesn't really have anything to do with the house. It's just added. It doesn't change the look of the house like Lakeview Manor as it should be, or whatever it does. But I do wish there were other. I think there's a couple of mods that work with Heljarkin hall itself, but none of them have ever looked very good to me, so I've never tried them. There's one that builds big walls around it, and there's actually, I think I tried that one, but it didn't look good. It wasn't well done with assets and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used any mod for Heliarchan. I think I might switch to Xbox One for this one though, and roll a new character and make Heliarchan my home base because I really like that house a lot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the location's great.
Yeah,
It's got the best view of all three of them, I think.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. You get that Whiterun view.
Yep.
They give you a really nice piece of land considering you're getting it from the Pale.
I know. I always confuse it because it seems like it should be in Whiterun, but it's not. It's like right on the border.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, it must be just over the line. Just over the line. Because it's basically right behind the farm, right? Where
Lauria's farm.
Yeah, Lauria's farm. That's it. Yeah.
I think Lauria's farm is in the Pale.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's part of the Pale.
Oh, okay.
I think the border is, that white one guard post.
Oh, is that the border right there? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure because
it's like right between the two because it's the I use the hold banners.
Yep.
And it's right there on the road in between Laureus and that watchtower.
Yeah, because the guard you can report Cicero to is a Pale guard. He's in a Whiterun guard.
Oh, I never even really noticed that. Yeah, okay, that makes total sense. That it'd be partway up that road. Yeah, because they would have the gate, I guess, in on their land a little bit. Whoever's surveying out there and coming up with the exact measurements, I guess. Precise location.
Altitude and azimuth and all that. Yeah.
But it's like the nicest piece of land in the Pale, and they just they give it to you. So that's really, really nice of them. Meanwhile, they're all living up on that north coast where it's really really miserable. They got a whole town built on the north coast. It's really miserable.
Yeah, really. Oh well. So so there's not a whole lot, is there? I mean, it's like you say, Waking Nightmare is a pretty big quest.
Yeah, we need to do Waking Nightmare and kill the giant to be able to buy it, according to the UESP.
Isn't there a Civil War bypass?
I believe there is. It was Fort Dunstad, is it?
Probably that's the closest fort.
I think it's Fort. If you're doing the Civil War, that's true. If you are in the Civil War at all, Fort Dunstad, that quest is the workaround, I believe, or the other.
I think because I'm gonna be going back to my the first playthrough I had on this computer when we first started this, so I'm gonna be going back to that one, the modded one. It's the one where I started out in Bruma. I had an alternative start Bruma, and I started in there. And so I'll be going back to that one. And he's already completed the Civil War. Stormcloak side, so he should be able to.
Should be able
to get the house from. I've forgotten what's his name. Scald.
Mm-hmm.
That he might start to kill the giant, but I don't think. Oh well, might be Waking Nightmare because Waking Nightmare is a Daedric quest, and we're gonna stay away from those things.
Yeah, I think you might have to do Waking Nightmare, and not have to do Kill the Giant. I think it replaces Kill the Giant, not Waking Nightmare. Yeah, because this one we have to do that one Daedric because of the availability of the land.
Okay.
Unless the Civil War one does bypass that. I think it was an option for Kill the Giant, but I could be wrong when I looked at the UESP.
All right, so there's those two, and then let's see, mining ore. That mining ore is just is one of the other help the people of the
these stain quests are all the help the people ones. Yeah.
Salty Sea Dogs is fun because I think that's a long radiant, right? You have to.
Yes.
This usually goes into various, or at least one good dungeon dive.
Yeah, I figured that's a good one to do. The other ones are all kind of the
Which one is that one? Is that the one with the
Void salts.
void salts?
Yeah.
It's just a bear cave, I think.
Oh, I thought you had to find them in some specific place.
If it's a bear cave.
Oh, okay, just a bear cave. Okay,
It's lots of bears.
Okay.
If it's, I mean, I've been there twice, I think, on that quest to get them, and I got them in the same place.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think they're permanently there, I think.
Oh, okay.
But there is also the Ring of Pure Mixtures you can get for the Alchemist.
Right, that's the free to
so and
dungeon
so.
building thing. Yeah. That's definitely one. Yeah. Sometimes I've actually had that one show up in the same cave as the first white file quest, the Forsaken Cave there, which makes sense, right? I forget when.
Yeah, not Calcelmo. I was going to say Calcelmo.
It is Calcelmo, but it's Kiralmil's.
Coralmil, yeah.
Yeah. What's quests all drunks have?
Apparently you can make them dance, which I've never actually done.
No, I know that.
I was like, this is interesting. I don't think I've ever actually done this. I guess you just buy them a drink, really, essentially, and just do a speech check, it seems like. But I was like, I don't think I've ever done this.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll be fun to try.
Yeah, I was like, I'll throw, these were just all the ones that were listed for the help the people Thane part of it. So I was like, oh, wow, that's so weird. I don't think I've ever had the drunk guy dance. And I guess there's a few. There was like 4 or 5 listed for different areas. But Carl is the one for the Pale.
The Frost Fruit Inn or whatever the Pale one is. No, it's not. Frost Fruit's in Winterhold, right? What's the...
what is it? I can pop it open real quick.
Dawn Star.
Let's see. Carl Ironbreaker. He's actually in Ironbreaker Mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess you just you talk to them, you buy them a drink. If you speak to them while alcohol is in your inventory, and select some to give to them, then this makes them your friend, meaning you can take low value items that belong to them. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
And then Rare Gifts is actually Rustlife's wife, right? Because she's a Redguard and wants to go home or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I think it's well, I know Rustleaf is always the one that gives it to me. Is that he wants the kid to know something of his.
Right. Okay.
Of his wife's side of the family,
family kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. You have to get a book.
Yes, it's a book. Night Falls on Sentinel.
Something Sentinel.
Yeah, very good. Night Falls on Sentinel.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done that. I've seen it, but I've never actually fulfilled the quest.
And you get a smithing increase for that quest.
Let's see. I'm looking at the ones that I added of those. There's the longest one is Pieces of the Past. So is that should be for the final episode, right? Or that's Daedric though. So do we want to do that?
Yeah. We probably want to avoid Daedric. What about Japheth's Folly? What about that quest?
Yeah, that's in Windhelm.
Windhelm, yeah. There's no. That's a pretty decent
affiliate.
Yeah, I don't think it's affiliated with anything, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall it being anyway.
The White File is a 2-parter, so.
Yeah, the White File is a 2-parter.
Yeah, it's main quest, and it's main quest locked as well.
Oh, what is
second part?
Is it really?
You have to go to the throat. You have to go to the throat of the world to get the snow.
Yep, you get all the way up there. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right, so that's a no go.
Let's see. Do you have to do? I think for Japheth's Folly, do you have to do Rise in the East? It says related quests. Rise in the East, help the East Empire Company.
I think that's where it starts off at.
Yeah, yep. Japheth's Folly is located, blah, 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 in the Sea of Ghosts. As visited during the quest, Rise in the East. Okay, so technically we have to do Rise in the East. which is, let's see, talk to the guard at East Empire. Let's see. Steal the logbook, all that. Talk to the guy in Dawnstar, and then depart for Japheth's Folly.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if there's any requirements that would be an issue. It doesn't seem like there's any issues starting the quest. So yeah, I guess technically we'd be doing Rise in the East, not and that encompasses Dawnstar also, Windhelm, then Dawnstar, then Japheth's Folly. So
yeah. So is a return to your roots locked by anything to get into Blackreach? I think isn't that the Crimson Nern route one?
Oh, is it?
It is. Yeah.
I didn't.
A return to your roots. Yeah, it is. You have to. If you've done some of you can get into it with
Mages
Dawn
Guild?
Guard.
Oh, Dawn Guard. Okay.
Or I'm not too sure. You might be able to just go to the ice pack and go and speak to the guy who eats his own beard.
Yeah.
And
right,
get him to give you the quest to go and get the the lexicon filled up.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then you can get into
with the knowledge, because that starts. It starts the Daedric quest for thingy, but you can always just not ever go back with the lexicon.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have to talk to what's his name there.
Yeah, you don't have to return it.
Hermaeus Hermamora.
The anime porn guy. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So if we do that and Rise, those are pretty good longish ones. So White File we can't do because the second half is locked, right?
Yeah, I suppose I might.
But we can leave it on there. Let's leave it on there, and then whoever can do it does it. And Rise in the East is.
I think I've already done the first part.
Yeah.
What was Morning Never Comes? I just threw those in there. I was just looking at UESP, so I didn't really.
Morning Never Comes. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I don't recall what Morning Never Comes is.
I mean, the spelling's a clue.
Morning Never Comes. Let's see. That is Astrid.
Oh well.
You have to be in Dark Brotherhood, yeah.
So Return to Your Roots is a possibility if you can backdoor your way in with what's his name, all right.
Okay, Return to Your Roots is what? The one where you're down in Blackreach and get all the Crimson?
The Crimson Nern route, yeah. The farm is in the Rift, I think, or is it still Eastmarch where the farm is? It must be still Eastmarch or something if it was listed in Windhelm. So, well, we have to go out with a bang. So what's going to be like the big deal for the final episode? I think we got enough for the episode 5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should have some big quests for the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do Return to Your Roots if we can get in there.
Yeah, but that's just like a fetch quest kind of thing.
Technically, it is. Yeah, you're just running around Blackreach, really. And I wouldn't even have the dragon down there, so you wouldn't even have that. Let's see. I'm trying to think what other big quests there are off the top of my head. We did. Let's see.
Not much. I mean, there's still a few. There are some quests on Solstheim that aren't really.
That's true.
Related. I mean, we're all playing with the DLCs, right? So,
yeah, and you can just take the boat to Solstheim.
Yep.
That would be good. Ooh, what about the collecting that armor?
That, and there's also the Cagramel or no, it's the one where you have to get those things and do the stuff for the Telvanni wizard. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Yeah. what the heck's his name? I forget.
I haven't done that in so long.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't been over there in a while. That actually would be fun. Let's see.
Colin, help.
There's the Fate of the Skull, Cleansing the Stones. We can't do that, obviously. Path of Knowledge is Black Books, the Gardener of Men. Those are all the main ones. Raven Rock quests, okay. An Axe to Find, that's the Nordic pickaxe one.
Yeah, that's good.
Clean Sweep is where you clear the tomb of the Ash Spawn. Feeding the Addiction, that's just where you convince an innkeeper. Fetch the Netch, where you get the Netch jelly for Mylor length. Sorry. First edition, get something for Sindiri. That's like a fetch quest. Final Descent. Find out what happened to the great grandfather of Crucius Corellius. It's all in the taste.
It's the one where you get that sword that shoots fire or whatever it is.
Okay. Oh, here's
lasers.
Oh, yes. That is a pretty fun quest, actually, isn't it? What was that called again? What did I say it was? Final Descent. Let's see. Let's make sure there's no requirements for that. Speak to Crucius Corellius. Find out what the East Empire Company sealed away. Retrieve the journal and escape Blood Skull Barrow. Yeah, because you get the Blood Skull Blade. That's right. Yeah, that's
not Daedric, though.
No, it's not Daedric, no.
No, I just added that in.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, the Tel Mithrin quests. I just got into those, actually. Let's see. Azra's Staffs. Briarheart Necropsy. Examine a Briarheart for Naloth. Experimental Subject 1. Be a test subject for him, of course. And then be a test subject for him again. Healing a House. Heartstones. Hunting and Gathering. Lost Knowledge. Is just retrieving black books. Find the source of the attacks on Tel Mithrin. That's not a bad one. Find a new steward for Naloth and Raven Rock.
I think it's the Kagramaz Gauntlet. Is that that's the one where you have
that is the one
resonance gems. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, that's the isn't that the source of the attacks? Is that what that's for? Where you go through that one? Which one takes you through those? I'm trying to remember. Is it the black books? Or is it
Yeah, I don't know where to find requirements for there's I guess you just have to find all the resonance gems in order to do it, but I don't know if you can get into that. It's Nachardak, right?
yeah, let's see. Kagramaz is a relatively small ruin south of the temple. Related quests, the Kagramaz Gauntlet. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how we get to that. Acquire 2 resonance gems.
Yeah, so some of them might be locked.
There are various locations. You only need 4. 2 of them are located within itself. Kagramaz itself.
Nachardak, second Visage of Mizund.
It seems like a third is sold by Revis, who's by the Silt.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I think we can do that one, actually.
That'd be cool.
That's a good one. The Kagramaz gems, yeah. Or Kagramaz resonance gems. It's another relatively in-depth one. Is that the one with the gears when you get to the one point where you're jumping on the giant gears on the floor and stuff? Or am I thinking of a different?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I did it. I don't remember. Yeah.
You do the patterns. I know that. Oh, you get a Dwarven Black Bow of Fate.
Nella. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I can remember his name.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. So what do we have for the final one? We have Rise in the East. Final Descent and Kagramez are pretty long.
And Return to Your Roots, if we can do it.
Yeah.
Jeff and Polly.
Yeah.
Are you seeing my edits there on the?
Yeah, actually, I just popped it up. Yeah.
Okay.
We could do if we're over on Solstein, we could do another one too.
Yeah. What else is in there?
If we're gonna be over there. Well, what's the one where you collect the armor? Why can't I remember?
That's the Death Brand.
Death Brand armor. That's it. I wonder if can you get all those? Death Brand. Here we go. I don't think these are an issue. Read Death Brand. Oh, okay. Find the treasure map. Locate 4 ancient chests containing pieces of Death Brand armor. Do you need a?
There's also Thirst Call. That's another one.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah. Maybe we can travel to Solstheim and do a few quests. That would be fun. I haven't done Solstheim in a long time.
Yeah.
Probably since we did Dragonborn last time. I mean, like fully go through Solstheim, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to be since we did it years ago. It's been a few years since we did that, right? The Dragonborn Roundtable. What the hell was that? Oh my god! It was probably before Fallout 4 came out.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. It was one of the early ones
Must
we did.
Even before SE came out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, because it was before I started playing.
Oh jeez, it was a while ago. Yeah.
And my Roundtable character started out on Solstein.
On the alt start.
Yeah.
I kind of like Solstheim.
I'll have to take her back.
Is there a house building mod for Solstheim?
Yeah, there's a couple. I've never tried them, and there's also several redos of Severin Manor and all that. There's a couple of newish ones too that came out for SE and possibly for LE as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good with revisiting Solstheim again for sure.
Yeah, but we're good with episode 5, right? With the ones you already had listed, plus building the house.
Yeah, plus we're going to do the majority of the building in that one and all. So yeah. We'll stick with the Thane and Waking Nightmare and all that, or if you have the other stuff, and then we can save the bigger quests for the last one.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
That works for me. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other ones offhand.
Michelle says he likes the one from Eleonora. I think he's probably referring to Severin Manor, or maybe it's a different house for Solstheim. I'm not sure.
I'll have to take a look and see what.
Oh, Skull You Need. That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle just mentioned that. Yeah.
Man, it'll be nice to go. I like Solstheim a lot. The biggest problem I have with Solstheim is there was so many ingredients to collect. The trauma roots and all that stuff. There's just so many of them, and the yams and all ash yams and all that stuff.
On the other hand, the Skaithclaw is a really excellent ingredient for potions you want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Skull You Need, Skull House, and Follower. Where is that? That's let me look on the images. Where is it? It's probably attached to the village somewhere. I don't think I've ever tried that.
Huh? That'd be. Oh, you can. Oh, a Skull House. I like that.
Yeah.
So you can become part of that village, and yeah. I wonder where it would be there. That's pretty tight up there. But I guess there's probably room behind the different houses.
Yeah, and she's included weapons and armor. She does awesome armor too. So That's an oldie. That's from 2015,
Oh wow.
which means it's for legacy only. I assume probably not available for
SE.
SE. Oh, so I think Michelle Michelle, are you so he's using that one, I guess.
Oh, okay.
He says I'm in the village, so it's in the village, just outside the
Right
just
up.
outside,
Okay. That makes sense.
yeah. So that'd be fun for people who are playing on modded games. I wonder if that's available for Xbox One. Probably not, again, because it's from 2015. I doubt she had
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
And
maybe
she
there's another one that's available for that or something. Take a look.
probably.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it when people port her mods. So
Yeah, that's not bad. We got a decent load of quests.
I think so. Yeah, sounds good.
Sorry for remaining silent, but I was having like loads of issues with my computer.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Right in the middle of that.
You were breaking up a little bit there for a second, but you sound better now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just turned it off and then restarted the Hangout and came back. I was trying to find the USP, and it says you can't find this IP address,
Oh
and
God.
you need to take your DNS server and your firewall settings. And I was like, "What the fuck?" So then I was messing around with it for ages while you guys were talking, and I was just like, "What's going on with my computer?" And then I just like, "I'll turn this off and then turn it back on again." And hey,
Colin, you don't
kind
have
of
all that
worked.
memorized?
Sorry.
I said you don't have all that memorized.
Yeah.
That's almost as good as when I try to hit with my government computer, go to an army website, and I get a screen that says cannot resolve the security certificate for this
Oh
website.
God, I love that.
Wait a minute, it's your website.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I had to look up parts for somebody, and the company it's a lawn equipment company, but they're called Hustler.
Oh no.
I was like, well, I'm like, you must have just looked this up on your phone because by the time I am able to find this goddamn website on this computer, it's never gonna happen. So just,
Yeah. About 6 or 7 years after my boss got here, he's been here for 20 years. He got a visit from the network people saying he was the chief pornographer on because he was, all of his searches for organs and stuff like that. It's like, come on, people, get some perspective here.
Yeah, right after I typed in Hustler, I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. So I'm just search on your phone.
Yep.
Oh God. Yeah, so let's see. It'll be fun to bounce around Solstheim. I love the Death Brand armor.
Yeah, that's fun.
It looks so good. Like as a vanilla armor, it looks really great.
Well, the light armor looks good. The heavy armor
true.
helmet is it's like Elton John all over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the light armor helmet's not that much better. It's got the two horns in it. You look like a dick.
You're right. Yeah. So you have to have the what's the perk that gives you heavy armor, or is that a vanilla perk where you get
no without the helmets? No, there is none.
Oh, okay. I thought that was also a vanilla perk. Oh well.
Is it
ordinary? All pieces equipped to be able to get. Well, nobody ever puts any points in light armor anyway. You're supposed to be running away and not getting hit anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Yeah. You have to be burly.
You've put nothing in health. You've put it all in stamina for your long shots and for your power attacks with your double daggers. So
yeah,
you still only got like 115 health because of like that one piece of armor you got.
That does sound like every build I've ever done, except for the one on Switch.
But you have the Galder amulet, right? So at least you got something. Yeah. I've been finding some new stuff in my latest modded playthrough. I'm sorry, of course, I can't remember whatever any of it was, but some mod added things that are kind of cool. Mostly enchantments. I think they're all Summer Mist enchantments that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, there's a nice one that I think it's one of the ones that's either Skyrim immersive creatures. Revenge of the Enemies, or the other one that adds even more powerful enemies. I can't remember. Revenge of the Enemies.
High level enemies?
Yes, high level enemies.
Yeah.
And it's when you go to Vollenrude and you face off against what's the guy? He's a Drogo, but he's a ghost.
Oh, right.
Fallen Rude. What is his name?
Tasting sword.
He's at the right at the entrance, right? Isn't that the one you're talking about? He's the guardian.
No,
Oh.
he's he's the main guy. He's right near where the wall, the shout wall is. But anyway, somebody gave him a really nice ring.
See you, Michelle. Sorry, Colin. Michelle was taking off.
Good night, Michelle. And he is put a nice enchantment in it is that you're resistant to frost by 15%, but it increases your movement speed by 10%, something like that. And was it? There's one where there's a mod that puts in dwarven ghosts. So when you're going through Dwemer ruins, there's ghosts,
cool.
and they're like, or dwarven specters or something like that. And there's one where you go through the entire dungeon. You go all the way through, and then there's just that one last door you go through before you get to the lift that takes you to the surface. Of course, one of the bastards stuck one right there and made him really high level as well. So you know what I like. I finished the quest. You kill the boss at the end. You grab the Grim Sever or something, push through the door, and that's when he starts attacking you.
Oh, God.
And he had a nice enchanted ring on him as well, which is a ring of protection, it was called. And it you wear the ring and it gives you mage armor, but permanently in the ring. So you wear the ring and it puts on mage armor.
Nice. That's similar to that. That's similar to what I was thinking of. It's a ring that I found. But I don't know if it's the same enchantment, but it's very similar to that. Yeah. Recently, it must be a Summer Mist. Are you using Summer Mist?
No.
Or do you think that's just added by that particular mod?
Yeah, I think they hoist it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think it's that one is Skyrim Immersive Creatures that adds the spectral dwemer to it.
Yeah.
And they're pretty nasty. They shoot out electric dwarven cogs. So you have dwarven cogs that are like chakrams or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And they spin at you, and they're all electrified. So.
I'd like to get a hold of a few of those. Yeah, I've been playing an alternate. I'm using Helgen Reborn in another playthrough, and I had never done it from. I'd always done it from the neutral side, but there's actually three paths through the mod. You can play it neutral, or you can play it from either the Imperial or Stormcloak side to get the guards for the mod. And so I'm playing through from the Stormcloak, which I'd never done before. And there's I finally found the other entrance to Statamar Ruins, which was added by Helgen Reborn. It's a little trapdoor way on the other side of the mountains there. And there are a couple of really nasty boss fights in that mod. There's one with a Dremora Warlock that's really, really tough. And that one is like that. You get into a place where, you all get in there, and then the door behind you closes permanently, and now you're screwed. And I have been working at that. I have like 3 or 4 Draugr warlords that are all shouting all at once. It's just insane in there.
Dremora, is that the one where it's got the Oblivion Gate in the bottom of the mine?
Yeah, and he'll come out of the gate, and you can hit him for a minute, and then he goes into his power mode, sort of like Ancano does in the Mages Guild thing, where he's shooting out frost runes, and so you have to just spam the jump button until he comes out of that mode, then go attack him again, and then spam the jump button for a while until he stops throwing out these frost runes. Or if you have enough frost resistance, you're okay. But otherwise, he just like kills everybody. It's a tough fight. because he's basically invulnerable when he goes into that floating mode. Yeah.
I don't. I haven't played Helgen Reborn with the armies. Sorry, with the Civil War
Yep,
either
I never
side
had.
things. I haven't.
Yeah, I just thought that'd be cool to try, and it's actually more longer. I think you have 4 or 5 recruits in the neutral one, but you have 6 Stormcloak soldiers. You have to go and rescue them, then you bring them back, and so now you're Stormcloak. And it's all really well scripted. I mean, it's got written. In other words, he changes the dialogue completely for that. And Marcus Janus has a totally different take on things. It's really well done. It's such a great mod.
Yeah, I definitely compare that to comparable, even though it's a lot smaller, to Bruma as in how well executed it was.
Yeah, it really is. It's stable as hell. It doesn't cause any issues unless you have other mods that conflict with it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, quick! I just realized my mic was off. Because I was checking something. But quick, hopping back to the episode. Do we want to add Karstag?
Ooh, I don't know.
It's a hell of a
I
battle.
always like a good Karstag fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I realized we're going to be in Solstheim. We talked about it last time, and we're like, oh no, that's in Solstheim. But now we're going to Solstheim. So
Yeah, true.
let's add.
And, I'm playing a Nord, so I should get my frost resistance. It's going to be pretty easy for me.
Yeah, we can. Throw
Oh no, wait!
Karstag
I'm
in.
playing an Imperial. Damn it!
Uh-oh.
He just looks like a Nord.
He just looks like a Nord.
It's my original one. I can't remember his name. Imperial, but he's like, I think the backstory was like he was 70 and his wife had just died, and that was it. He was
I remember him.
priest of RK, not priest of RK, but he was sort of like went to pray to RK and like ask him for death, and then he just started pushing things. So that's why he went out to be an adventurer to sort of like die in battle, and so far it hasn't happened yet. It's sort of like a battle of wills between him and RK. So
what happens when he meets the old orc, who also wants a good death?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I usually avoid. I first fought him in my first playthrough, and he kicked the shit out of me.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And I went running back to try and find him again, but obviously something else had spawned in his place.
Yeah.
But it's usually one of the ones that I go, I'll speak to him for a couple of minutes and then I'll move on, because most of the characters are not sort of like warrior ethic like.
Yeah.
But definitely this guy is definitely. No, that's not his name. Dexon Cottrell, maybe?
That sounds good.
I think it's Dexion.
Well, Dexion is the moth priest too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
I just remember that because he popped up in someplace else.
Yeah.
Recently.
I gotta set a date for the new one of that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that because it's gonna get close to the fundraiser.
Yeah, hopefully getting to the fundraiser isn't November.
Yeah, beginning of November. Actually, I think Andrew already has a slot set up for that.
Yes,
during the fundraiser. So I think we're good for that if everybody's good for the day.
Yeah, so we have that. I think I'll try and squeeze one in October sometime if people are free.
Yeah, I think I should be. I don't know if we get the house, it will be November before we're ready to move anyway. So
you're moving, are you?
Well, we're putting an offer in on a house as of today. So we'll see.
Make sure it has its own dungeon. You can't buy a house now without its own dungeon.
No, the podcast studio will be in the attic. It's got a really nice attic space up there. So
I think we got all our quests lined up. It looks like.
Yeah,
I'll set them up on the other doc on asapodcasting.com. Yeah, if you want to hop in and play with us, yeah, just go to asapodcasting.com, go to the Skyrim Addict, click on the Skyrim Addict image, and just scroll down and you'll see where it says Hearthfire Quests, and that'll take you to a Google Doc, and all of them link you to the UESP for each quest as well. So I add the episode 5 and 6 to it as well. And Kenneth, if you're listening and you are doing your final feedback, feel free to do it anytime. Take your time.
Yeah.
I know your fellow died, but
And join us. Are we going to do are we going to do episode 5 for the fundraiser?
Let's see. The fundraiser is November 9th. What is today? It's October. Yeah, probably should. That'll probably be a good time to do it.
Because we have a slot or two set up.
So that'll probably be good to do the Hearthfire on November 9th. That'll give us a little over a month. I have a few things in October anyway, so to fill in the meantime. So let's and I also have a cat climbing into my microphone.
Carjo there is going to need time to catch up with us. Yeah.
So November 9th will be the next Hearthfire Roundtable during our charity event for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, as the cat knocks the mic away from my face. There will be no cats at the charity event.
Aw.
No, she'll be here. She's always down here. Just need to keep her from chewing on stuff.
Yeah, really.
So if you're going to join us on Hearthfire, it'll be a great time to do it. We'll be doing that one live, of course, on YouTube, and we'll be talking about the quests we just discussed, the first set, which are, Waking Nightmare and the Thane quests as well. Let's see. Do we want to add? Do we want to move one of the Solstheim ones to the first one, or do we think we have
to give us a sort of an
introduction
into Solstheim?
Yeah, like a jumping off.
Which one? Maybe Thirst Call or Deathbrand, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe it takes a while, but
yeah. What about the one where you get the axe for the guy?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
I forget what it's called, but you get the axe for the blacksmith right there in the village.
Yeah,
it'll get us over to Solstheim.
It starts that the quest where you go down in the in the mine too.
That's correct. Yeah.
So that would be the perfect segue.
Gets us right into town. He's kind of one of the first people you kind of deal with anyway. He's right there in the front part of town, so that works out well. It'll give us one little Solstheim quest after we get done on the mainland. So, if you want to join us on that November 9th, you can either, if you play it before that, want to send in your feedback for it, great. If you want to send in feedback after that, that's great too. But we'll be doing those and then moving on to the finale episode of the Hearthfire Roundtable, which will be all those Solstheim quests we mentioned previously.
And a couple others.
Yeah, and some other ones as well. Rise in the East, which of course is not Solstheim, but that's a fun one. I like Japheth's Folly because I just feel like I never get out there enough. I feel like that's a quest I like kind of blow by and never do anymore.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes you to this one little place that you never go to. Maybe there's a house mod for Japheth's Folly. You can move out there. What's coming up on the Fallout feed, right? I was just listening to the most recent episode, which was a roundtable, correct?
Yeah, so we'll have a feedback episode coming up this Thursday. And we're getting pretty close. I think end of November will be our last for this season.
Last one.
The last one. And and then we'll have to see. There'll be new content out by then. The Wastelanders, the NPCs will show up.
Oh, that's right. The
nice.
NPCs are coming. Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out. We should have enough time between the time that shows up and our last episode to figure out whether we're going to do another Fallout 76 episode or if we're going to shift to one of the other Fallouts. There's been some talk about Fallout 3. And,
oh, that would be great.
Yeah, so
I really like Fallout 3.
So we'll see which way we go on that.
Been a while since I played 3, but I did really enjoy it. It was a little pain that you had to take the subway places. That was 3, right? Yeah, where you had to bop around the subway.
Yeah,
in different parts of DC. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, there's been some great content, mod content added for Fallout 3 in the last year or two. So
nice.
For modded playthroughs, it might be fun.
And when's what's our Skyrim 10 AD schedule looking like? I know there's one on obviously the 9th.
Yeah, I hadn't had a look at it. I basically just been playing Outward like nonstop.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah,
It's I haven't been this invested in the game where I play like every day since Skyrim or Fallout New Vegas.
Wow.
And the gameplay is pretty choppy. The quests, how they're built out, is like if any of you have played Morrowind.
Wow,
that's how bad they are.
Yeah.
And then the gameplay is kind of like Oblivion.
Okay.
And sort of like the fighting is kind of like Oblivion, sort of like a little bit janky.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
But it's an amazing game. Despite all its faults, it just keeps you riveted of of the world that it gets into. They've got everything else right. There's just a few little things that and the things that they get wrong just add more charm to the game. It just adds like a lot of personality to it, and you're just like, oh, why did you do this? Like, the one that was killing me was the no death mechanic, funnily enough. And that's where you get always, if you get beaten down, you get knocked unconscious. And then either the enemies of where you are drag you to the holding pen, and sort of you have to sort of get yourself out and sort of find your equipment again and then fight your way out. Or somebody comes in and saves you and drags you off to safety, and then you wake up and he leaves you a little note and a little bottle of stuff that helps you get you back on your feet. And then you can either go back to town, or you can sort of take all your potions, because he brings your knapsack, which got all your gear in it, all your money in it, and everything like that. So, but yeah, it's just
so there's no death at all.
No death at all.
Okay.
So you can never go back on a save. There's only one single save, and it's an auto save. You can manually save, but you can't go back to one before that and then attempt the same thing again. So, I think they say on the little blurb as you're on the loading screen is that you can't avoid the consequences of the fight. So if you're in the middle of a fight with a pretty tough boss, and you use 15 of your traps, and you use that health potion, and use this special weapon and everything like that only has 3 uses. If you use all of that, then you've used all of that. You can't go back to just before the fight and then everything comes back to you. If you still lose the fight after losing all of that you've lost it, you've used it.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. As I understand it, that is sort of a similar to the idea behind Death Stranding as well. Although I'm sure, with considering who's making it, that's going to be far stranger. but yeah, similar idea. You're always moving forward. In other words, you in whatever way the game makes it happen.
Yeah. And
That's kind of cool. I like that.
you have what is it, 3 different from the start of the game, you're given 3 different factions you can go off and join, and you got so many different builds. It's like the weapon I went for was a big 2-handed weapon, as per usual with my sort of like favorite builds, but luckily for me, they had my favorite weapon in it, which is a halberd. And I really like halberds. I don't know why. I think it's just a name, but I think that I read somewhere that they can do 3 different types of damage. They can do piercing damage, slashing damage, and crushing damage.
Yeah.
And that's what they have in this game, is that you can impact damage and it causes bleeding and stuff like that. And as I was playing through the game, I've gotten, I don't know, I think I'm pretty far along. But I think it's one of these end game weapons that you given by one of these NPCs that you keep on occurring again and again. And luckily for me, that the weapon he gives you is a halberd. It's actually from one of the enemies that you keep on meeting out in the wild. He's one of the ones that saves you when you get knocked unconscious. But he's like the evilest of the evilest, but he's not one of them, or maybe he is, but he saves you every once in a while. And if you're a dick to him, he probably doesn't give you this weapon. But every time he saved me, I was like, "Oh, thanks. Oh, you like your books and everything like that." And he goes, "Oh yeah, I go out and venturing and sort of like I like to meet new people and all of that." Well, thank you for saving me, and then I leave. And every time and then sort of like probably after about the 10th time he saved me, he sort of like oh, it's been nice meeting you this many times, and then he gives you this weapon, which their weapons that they all carry are all halberds, which was my chosen weapon, and it's, as far as I can tell, it's one of the best weapons in the game because it's one of the most expensive.
Good.
When I go to them.
Yeah, doesn't a halberd have a blade, but also have a sort of a backwards facing hook on the side of the blade, so you can
Yeah, the design of the weapons changes to whoever's made it. So the basic iron halberd looks like that. So it has a point at the top, it has a blade on the side, and it has like a hammer at the back.
Okay.
So you can sort of like it's like multifaceted. You can either jab with a spear, so you're going to pierce somebody, or you can swing it around cleaver style, and you can sort of like slash somebody with it, or then you can get the hammer and sort of like bring it down and crush somebody. Because different enemies, different opponents that you face have different resistances. They might be resistant to piercing, but like weak to crushing, that sort of thing. So that's why I like a halberd. But these halberds are just big, long blades.
Oh, okay.
And they're called cleaver halberds.
Well, that makes sense.
So you swing through them, but they still have a lot of impact because they're big and chunky.
Cool.
And was it? Excuse me. The magic in the game is you have to learn a shitload, and you have to experiment and sort of like how to add things, and then you got like special abilities. Some of them cost stamina, some of them cost health, and some of them cost magicka. And you can like go to different trainers, and they, like Skyrim, you go to trainers and they train you, but the only way you can get these abilities is by paying them to train you in this particular ability.
That's cool.
The only thing you start out with is a kick and was it a throw a lantern. That's the only 2 abilities you can get, is that you have a lantern and you can kick something. But you have to go around and speak.
Play some more of it. It sounds the way you're describing it sounds awesome.
The only issue with it is it's a huge time sink.
Yeah.
So if you've got like I would say the very first time you start out a new character, 2-3 hours, I would say. I mean, when I get my days off, I can just like spend like 9-10 hours just sitting there playing. Wow. But if you haven't got a good 2 or 3 hours at least, I would say when you're first starting off, you might sort of like go, oh, this is a bit pain in the ass, because you haven't got the time to sink into sort of like learn all the different things.
Yeah, I do remember the janky look to it. It's funny. I heard I listened to a podcast called Gamers with Jobs, which has been around for a very long time. It's great podcast. But one of the people on it referred to that recently as, not in a pejorative way at all, in a very affectionate way, as Eurojank. And he's sort of referring to, if you remember the way, Witcher 1, the way the character moved and the way they used weapons and stuff. And I remember that game looked a lot like that to me. It's got that kind of slightly
Yeah.
awkward look, but really, but very very cool. It's very distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some it's like you've got a dodge roll. So if somebody tries to attack you, you dodge roll out of the way and you escape all damage. You've got a block. The only thing you don't, there's no jump. There's just like no jump in the game whatsoever.
There's no jump in Greedfall either, which surprised me. No jump at all, but lots of sort of first person parkour, which is hard to look at, but no jump.
I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 3.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And what do you think? I'm not a big Borderlands fan, so but
Yeah. I was worried because the last Borderlands game, the Borderlands pre-sequel, was pretty crappy.
Wow.
It was a very annoying game. But this is very much like Borderlands 2. It's just a lot of action, a lot of crazy humor, and the guns are just a lot of fun because they're just so they're so random and so incredibly bizarre. So
yeah, it's that post-apocalyptic kind of thing. I don't know. So I've heard it's good, and it's very much a continuation of 2. So that's good. So it looks the same too, right? It's
that strong cartoon style.
Now, did you play any of Tales from the Borderlands?
No,
no,
not at all.
I had heard there were some of the characters from that had been pulled over into Borderlands 3. That's the only Borderlands that I really enjoyed was Telltale's take. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just want to kill the robot. That fucking robot just drives me crazy.
Claptrap.
Yeah,
he is. Well, he's quite even more full of himself.
Oh no, really? Oh god.
Yes.
I really want to like.
Now he's super General Claptrap.
I really do. I really want to like the game. I just bounce off of it. But I'm glad you like it. It's good to hear. Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a good distraction game. It's just it's just silly and fun, and not you don't craft anything, and you don't your world is reasonably linear.
Looter shooter, basically, right? I mean, yeah.
It's just about killing as much as you can just to see what kind of weapons you get.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I haven't been. Oh, there it is. I haven't been playing much else. I gotta look through. I was considering loading up Gears 5 since I have Game Pass.
Ooh.
But I've never played any of the other ones, so I don't know if I would really be interested in it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like going through Game Pass and just seeing some random stuff. So I'll probably go on there and grab some things.
I don't know. I've been getting the sort of the RTS itch lately. I've been following a YouTuber by the name of Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, actually. Does really really good walkthrough type recordings, and his specialty is RTS games like Banished and stuff like that. And he's done some Dawn of Man stuff I've never even heard of that he's done extensive playthroughs of. So some of that sounds like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sort of getting the itch to pick one of those. Dawn of Man looks fun. You start as a caveman kind of thing and move up. So I may go shopping for something like that.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll figure out a time for next time, and then of course the Hearthfire episode will be November 9th. So
November 9th.
And which is the charity event, which will start in the morning and in the evening, 12 hours. And raise money for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So
definitely looking forward to that.
Join us again in our yearly endeavor. All right. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything?
No?
All right. Take care, everyone.
That guys.
Good night, everyone.
Right.
Hope all goes well. I don't have music, so
That's a great opening.
You like
theme.
that?
one.
I think I should
So-
change
so
it to
good.
that.
I've got the Fallout feed music.
There you go. All right.